Hi everyone, welcome back to the Strawberry Loli channel. Ever since 2022 started, I have been picking up just a few makeup items here or there every time I step out to go to the drugstore or something. Pretty much all of the makeup that I purchased this year, at least from Japanese brands, are at the drugstore level. Nothing radically new, like no new brands or formulas or anything like that. It's more just like limited edition colors that they've released for spring, I guess it would be at this point, even though it's still freezing outside. I guess as far as makeup and fashion and things like that go, we are starting to see the spring releases coming out. But like I said, I've basically just been collecting little tidbits from brands that I've already tried and loved in the past. For the most part, there's nothing like super exciting or newsworthy other than, like I mentioned, the special color additions for spring and maybe like a slightly tweaked formula. Anyway, for that reason, I thought it would be a good idea to lump them all into just one general video. Get ready with me, full face of new Japanese makeup style video that I actually haven't done for a while, so I'm actually pretty excited. For some products, I did buy multiples of the same item, just in different shades. So when I'm editing, I'll try to cut away and show you all the different swatches of all the shades that I purchased. So let's just get right into it. I already primed my face with the Etuse Face Edition Skin Base for oily skin, and this is the only thing that I'm using on my skin these days. No foundation or concealer. Well, no, I take that back. I use concealer as eyeshadow primer now, but yeah, no foundation, just this Etuse skin base. And then lately, let me show you what has actually been such a time saver for me. These eyebrow stencils that I picked up on a total whim from Daiso. I had to buy two because they only give you one in a single pack, which I think is kind of sneaky on their part because it's technically, that makes it like a 200 yen item and not 100 yen, you know? You could use the same template obviously for both eyes, but then you would have to wipe it down each time so that like when you flip it, the powder doesn't get transferred to your other eye. Anyway, that little gripe aside though, I don't know what it is about these eyeshadow stencils in particular. I have a suspicion that I just got freakishly lucky this time that the shape of these particular stencils happen to match like the shape that I'm going for these days. So basically what I do is I just use these and then I don't use the whole stencil because this brow is a little bit too long for my particular eyes. So I actually stop shading at the second line here. I line the second line up with the innermost portion of my brow, if that makes sense. And then I just fill it in really haphazardly with a fluffy eyeshadow brush, and I'll go in later with a detailed angle brush to clean up the edges. So yeah, it does take me a couple of steps to finish the entire brow. Like, I'm not immediately done after just that initial step of filling in the eyebrow shape. But let me tell you, it's a heck of a lot easier than drawing and pretty much winging my brows from scratch each time, and it has just been a game changer for me time-wise. So to finish up the last step on the brows, I'm going in with Deja Vu's Film Eyebrow Color Eyebrow Mascara in number 2 Natural Brown. This is actually ranked number 1 in ratings on cosme.net right now as far as eyebrow mascaras go. I don't know why it says number 2 on the packaging here. I guess this was in 2020, so things have changed since then, because I'm looking at the ranking list as it stands right now on cosme.net, and it definitely says that this is number 1. And even though I haven't tried most of the other eyebrow mascaras on this list yet, I have to say that I agree that this is a really amazing eyebrow mascara, and you'll see why in a minute. First of all, the brush is super fine and detailed, and you can see it's almost like a cone shape. So it's like small, thin, and it has this tapered shape to help you latch onto your individual eyebrow hairs easier. So I really love the size of this brush as well as the tapered cone shape. The formula too, I'm really impressed by. It's not too runny like some other brands can tend to be. It's actually hard and thick enough to hold your hairs up once you run the wand through them. Kind of gives you that semi feather brow or soap brow effect. I don't know what they're calling the technique these days. It looks like the same technique to me. Am I crazy? Like, I feel like all of these things are the same technique. Okay, so for the eyes, we are going to revenge on the Blendberry Aura Creation palette in 105 Golden Kiwi and Sweet Pink. I did do a dedicated review for this last week, 2 weeks ago. If you watched that video, you'll know that I was less than satisfied with the look that I was able to come up with. But that was kind of my own fault because I tried to follow their application diagram that they have on the boxes or on the backs of most Japanese eyeshadow palettes. In the past, that has always been hit or miss for me because sometimes my eye shape is just not suited to the suggestions that they have, and this palette proved to be no exception. So this time around, I'm just gonna do what my intuition told me to do all along, which is to apply the colors in the way that I see fit. Before I apply eyeshadow though, I'm gonna go ahead and curl my lashes with this tiny, I believe it's called the XS curler from RMK. This was a limited item from them, so unfortunately I don't think you can purchase this anymore from their website, but the good news is that RMK is not the only brand that has done this style of a curler. So it's like really tiny and almost flat, and this is really great for if you have flatter eyelids because you can basically get right up in there at the base of the eyelashes and curl section by section. You do have to be careful though, you know, the closer proximity also increases the chance of you clamping down on your actual skin, which you don't want to do. Alright, and let's go ahead and prime our eyelids. So this time around, I'm going to ignore Blendberry's BS application suggestions, and I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to use these colors, like these two berry tones on the right side here as the main base colors, just because like this is the only one with a deeper berry tone that I can use as a shadow. So I'm just going to sweep these two all over the lid in a simple gradient. It also matches my outfit today.
Losing time, I'm fading fast. I just wanna make it last. Try to let go of the past.
I really appreciate the minimal fallout with this formula, and although it's obviously not the most pigmented, at least you can get an even wash. For the center highlight, I'm going in with this icy lilac shade up here. I'm just gonna switch to my finger because it's not sticking with the sponge applicator. This color combo reminds me of an old Excel palette that I have. Also limited edition. These four shades right here, it's like a mellower version of the Excel. I'm going to place the yellow all along my lower lash line, and then I'm going to put the lime green in the inner corner so that we get our citrus fix for the day. And if that wasn't enough, I also have my San Pellegrino sparkling fruit juice with me. I am addicted to these lately. This one is in grapefruit, but I have them in all different flavors. Blood orange, pomegranate, you name it. I know it's not the healthiest thing, but at least it beats soda.
Sleepless nights and headaches stack. Restlessness to hell and back.
Ooh, this green really does pop if you just take your time to layer it correctly. And I have to say, I am into it. Then I'm gonna use Ken Make's 3-Way Slim Eye Rouge Liner in 02 Sheer Orange. I believe this is a limited edition color. Really wish they would stop doing that. So this is a liquid liner, but as you can see, it has a really fine tip that's designed for emphasizing your tear bags. You can use it however which way you want, of course. You can use it as a regular liner, but I'm just going to use this under the yellow portion, give myself more of a protruding tear bag effect. They came out with another color that was more on the reddish burgundy side. I feel like that one might have actually gone better with this particular look, but in terms of like natural looking effect, I thought that the sheer orange would be my best bet because orange is closer to my skin tone. But yeah, those are my tear bags. I feel like this looks slightly crazy because this yellow is kind of matte and also kind of mid-toned, like it's not a super bright yellow. So I'm gonna go dig into my stash. Actually, I have a certain eyeshadow in mind that I feel will be just the thing I need to spruce up this tear bag situation. So this is the Kate Parts Resize Shadow Palette in Yellow 1, and I'm just gonna take some of the center shade here because this one is a brighter yellow. Did that help? Did that make it worse? I'm not sure. Anyway, I am done with the eyeshadow now, so I'm gonna move on to eyeliner using my RMK Ingenious Liquid Eyeliner in black. As always, this is actually getting pretty thick. It's drying up. I'm not sure if I want to repurchase this just yet this time around. I'm not like breaking up with it completely or anything, but I might just want to get one of those automatic pen liners from the drugstore, like this one, which there's actually still product left in this one, but I want to get a new one when this eyeliner runs out. Daiso Lashes in number D06, elegance. While we wait for the lash glue to dry completely, let's go ahead and put on some blush, and then I'll circle back and do mascara. So I want to use Can Make's Cream Cheek in number 14, Apple Cream Red. Does that name alone not just make you salivate? I just think of apple flavored Jolly Ranchers, apple sour straws. Not actual apples. I hate actual apples. Ew, gross. But like apple flavored candy. That's what I think of when I look at this blush. So this is a I don't want to say matte because it's not like a matte finish. It still has that beautiful, you know, sheen that these blushes are known for, but it doesn't have any glitters in it. There's like a regular formulation and then a pearl formulation for these. So this one is just the regular no pearl, no sparkle finish. That part doesn't really matter to me actually. I'm more about matching the actual shade to the rest of my look and my outfit. And I'm just using my foundation brush because why not? One time I dipped a blush brush into one of these Can Make Cream Cheeks. It was a clean brush, but I guess it had been sitting for a while in the cup, and I didn't realize that there was actually a lot of dust collected on top of the bristles. So when I went to dip it into the blush compact, I basically mashed all of those dust particles into my blush, which I did not appreciate, and I tried to scrape them out, but I could never completely get them out. You know how dust works. So just a warning to prevent anyone out there from making the same mistake. Okay, I really like this shade. I like how it looks clearish almost. Just gives that really realistic glow from within effect. Now that my lashes are fully dried, I'm gonna go in with another Deja Vu item. Deja Vu is getting a lot of play today on my channel. It's called the Lash Up Mascara E1. I'm not sure what the E1 stands for. As you can see, it's the same kind of tube design as the Eyebrow mascara. I don't really understand why they're slightly different in height though. They are already different colors, so that's no problem for you to differentiate them by color. Why do you have to make the length that tiny bit different? Anyway, I'm gonna stop. So again, super fine combed brush. Amazing. And I do prefer a brush over a comb type, is what I discovered about myself over the years. Push this into the base of my top lashes just so that it blends better into the falsies. Because the brush is so small and kind of sharp, I have to be careful not to poke my eyes out when doing my lower lashes. So I only used this mascara once so far. Well, yesterday. I'm not sure how I feel about it exactly. At first I thought it wasn't doing much. Like, I wasn't super impressed because it didn't give me quite as much length initially as I had hoped. But then again, the selling point of this mascara is that it holds the curl really well, supposedly, is what they claim. Which again, I'm not the best test subject for, since I do rely on falsies most of the time for my top lashes. I don't know, I think if you just take the time to layer it up though, you can get a decent build. It is a fiber tubing mascara, like a film type, so as long as it has that, it should be able to, like, the fibers should be able to build on each other. And then this is also removable with just warm water. You just kind of like roll it back and forth with your fingers and it should come off of your lashes. Last but not least, onto the lips. So I purchased 3 new Opera Tint Oil Rouge lipsticks. Some of them are limited edition colors, some are not. I will label the swatches accordingly, so I'll show you all 3 swatched. Today I'm gonna go with this one, number 14, Mellow Pink, just because I think it matches the rest of my look the best. I forgot how much I loved Opera lip tints for a minute there. Actually, you know what, that's a lie. I always loved Opera lip tints. I had to declutter a bunch because I think the timing was just not great with the last time that I purchased. It was right around the time when the pandemic first hit and we started to wear masks all the time. I was not working from home at the time either, so I literally had to have my mask on 24/7, thus preventing me from rocking any type of lip product other than a basic clear chapstick for most of 2020 and 2021. But now that we're leveled up in 2022 and working from home full time, stunting on these hoes in the Zoom calls every day, okay, now I can get back into my lipstick game. So this one is Mellow Pink. I actually don't think there's anything mellow about it, but I love this shade so much. I think it matches my look today perfectly. Look at this finish, you guys. It's just so juicy and glossy and fresh. Just a note, these are a very, very soft formulation, so you might want to make sure that you store them in a cool and dry place if possible, because they will melt down and get messier and messier as you use them up. It shouldn't be a big deal. That's why they put it in a nice cool steel case. But yeah, just be mindful that these are a very, very soft formulation. You can think of it as almost a lip oil in stick form, but more pigmented than most other lip oil formulations. I mean, hence the name, Tint Oil Rouge. I think it's pretty fitting. But yeah, I absolutely love the way that these Opera Tint Oil Rouges look on the lips. Let me see if I can describe this correctly. The color I have on right now is relatively like a neutral, natural looking color anyway, but even when it's a color that is not a natural lip color, like purple or something, I actually do have a purple one. This is an older Opera lipstick in the shade 104 Clear Amethyst. I think this was limited edition. But yeah, you can see it's like a very unnatural looking shade of purple that would not occur on most people's lips naturally. However, with the Opera lip tints, the thing that I love and I think is most unique about the finish of this particular lip tint formula, it almost looks like you applied just a sheer gloss over your natural lips, even if the lip color is not natural looking. I don't know if I'm making sense. So like if you applied this purple on your lips, it would look as if your lips were naturally this purple color and you just applied a sheer gloss over it. So it's like no matter what shade you use, it ends up looking super just fresh and natural and not artificial. I hope I was able to explain that sufficiently. It also, like for me at least, I feel like it fills in the fine lines and wrinkles in my lips, so it gives me an overall smoothing, plumping effect that sometimes other lip tints, like you know the watery lip tint formulas that are really popular from Korean beauty brands right now, those might be satisfactory on the glossiness and the pigmentation fronts, but they don't necessarily give me this like smoothing effect. This is why the Opera Tint Oil Rouge continues to be one of my favorite lip products from the Japanese drugstore. Dior Lip Maximizer, she can hang it up flat screen, okay? She can pack her bags and go. Her services are no longer needed. Alright, well that is it for today's edition of Get Ready With Me Full Face of Japanese Makeup Products. I hope you found this helpful if you were thinking of picking up any of the items I used today. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!